Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a special Bond video. Would I upgrade these Bond titles? I don't have all of the James Bond films, but the ones that I do have, we're going to talk about them as to whether I would upgrade them. Do I have them on 4K already? So yeah, let's talk about it today on the video. So welcome back. So yeah, I've been doing a series of videos talking about would I upgrade titles, and I thought, why not do a Bond special? Like I say, I don't have all of the James Bond films, even though I'm a big James Bond fan. There's only certain films that I have in the collection. So yeah, let's talk about them and whether I would upgrade the ones that I have. Okay, so we'll start off with the films that I have upgraded to 4K, and that being the Daniel Craig collection. This contains the first 4 films: Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall and Spectre. They did bring out another edition that did have No Time to Die in it, but I do have No Time to Die in a nice digibook edition. I have shown it on the channel, so I'm not going to get that out now, but yeah, I mean, that looks fantastic on 4K. And equally, all of these films look great on the 4K format. Casino Royale does have a sort of an uncut director's edition extended version. I think that just incorporates a few little scenes in that were sort of deemed a bit too violent for the theatrical cut. But these all have DTS Master Audio mixes on them. They don't have Atmos or DTS-X, unfortunately, but they do have HDR, and they all look great on the 4K format. To my knowledge, this is the only 4Ks at the moment that you can get for Bond films, and now it's been announced that the Sean Connery films will be getting the 4K treatment, and I have talked about that on the channel in length about that box set, or those 2 box sets, the Steelbook one and the standard version, mainly about the artwork. Obviously we don't know about the transfers at this present time. And just sticking with the Connery films, I will say that the only film that I would be interested in, if it's a really good transfer, would be the film Goldfinger. Now I do have this really nice Steelbook version. I've got a custom magnet on the back there as well. This is a really nice Steelbook. This transfer looks great on this. You know, the sort of the DVD versions were remastered by Lowry, and those conversions were put onto the Blu-rays. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if the Goldfinger 4K master is a really good transfer. I'm assuming that at some point they will release these individually, so this could be a potential upgrade for certain. Moving on to an underrated Bond film that I actually have enjoyed more as time's gone on, and that's the film On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So this was the only film that George Lazenby starred as the character of James Bond. Fascinating backstory as to how he got to play this role. There's a documentary, Becoming Bond, which is really worth watching if you enjoyed James Bond. Yeah, and kind of after watching that, I sort of rewatched this, and you know, I've grown more fond of it. And it has a link to No Time to Die. There's sort of comparisons there, and it uses the sort of love theme in this film. Had this really nice slipcover done for the Blu-ray, custom slipcover, but if they did bring this out on 4K, again, I think I might be quite tempted to upgrade it if it's a good transfer. I mean, the Blu-ray looks great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, because I've grown more fondness for this film, an upgrade might be certainly considered. I guess if they did this, it would be a standalone release because it's not part of the Connery collection. I'm guessing they'll do a standalone for this, and then they'll do the Roger Moore collection, and then the Timothy Dalton collection, and then the Pierce Brosnan collection. I imagine so. But yeah, a 4K of this I could be very well tempted to sort of get, but probably on reviews. Just going back to the Casino Royale edition now, obviously I do have this on 4K, but I do really like this edition that they produced. This was an early Blu-ray release. This was right at the start of Blu-ray. Really deluxe edition of this, 3-disc edition. Contains sort of loads of documentaries on here, so I wouldn't get rid of this edition, even though I do have the 4K extended cut. Yeah, so yeah, I would keep this. Moving on to The Man with the Golden Gun. Again, Roger Moore, his second outing as James Bond, and I really do love this film. Absolutely fantastic. Again, if they were to do a 4K of this, I would be very tempted, especially if they did a steelbook version, because I've got this magnet here with the original artwork on. I mean, I would love to see a 4K with this artwork on. Whether we get that further down the road, I'm not so sure. Going on these Sean Connery ones is probably unlikely. But yeah, again, I'll be interested in a 4K of this if one does come available, just as a single one. I'm not so sure whether I would go for a Roger Moore collection, even though I do like most of his films. I still like the individual versions. So yeah, definitely a possibility for a 4K upgrade. And continuing on, the first film that Roger Moore did, Live and Let Die. This is one of my favourite James Bond films. Love that artwork, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, absolutely brilliant film this is, in my opinion. His first outing. Love all the sort of car chases, the sort of the mystical stuff in it. It's all very good. Yeah, brilliant, and would really love to see a 4K for this one. And following on from that, The Spy Who Loved Me. Again, classic Bond film. This was my favourite film after Moonraker when I was sort of a child. Moonraker was always my favourite James Bond film from Roger Moore. But yeah, again, a 4K upgrade of this would probably look really nice. You've got the sort of all the Egypt stuff. Yeah, it'd look great, wouldn't it? And again, I've got that nice magnet with the original artwork, poster artwork. So if they did a steelbook, you know, that would probably be going on the steelbook. So following on, so not that long ago I actually picked up Dr. No. This is a really nice collector's edition. I got it for a very reasonable price. It does have a steelbook in there and all the goodies. And yeah, it being the first James Bond film, not necessarily my favourite, but I feel like it's, as being a Bond fan, really I should have this in my collection. It's the film that started it all off. Would I upgrade to a 4K? Probably not, because I'm more than happy with this collector's set. I don't feel the need to have the 4K of this. It's not a film I would revisit that much compared to the other Bond films, but I do, yeah, I'm happy that I picked it up as a collector's edition for a reasonable price. I wasn't prepared to pay the full price that they were asking at the time. It'd be typical that they re-release this with the 4K in it, all the same stuff, you know, that's happened before. But no, I'll just stick with the Blu-ray for Doctor No. Moving on to, as I say, my favourite film as a child, Moonraker. Still one of my favourites out of all the James Bond films, but Casino Royale being my favourite now. Still really love this one. And again, I would love to see a 4K for this one because of all the stuff in space. You know, the HDR would look great with the deep blacks. And this film very much globe-trots around the world. You've got Venice, you've got the Amazon, France, a wonderful mansion in France, although it's supposed to be set in the US. But yeah, really, yeah, great film in my opinion. I know a lot of people think this is one of the daftest ones, but you know, for a child growing up in the 70s, this was absolutely fantastic outing for James Bond, and I would love to see a 4K, especially a steelbook, if I could get that artwork. But if not, I've got the magnet that I could pop it on. Moving on to, okay, so this one is outside of the Bond franchise. Never Say Never Again, the remake of Thunderball. I don't actually mind this film. Yeah, it's very difficult to get a hold of on Blu-ray now. Very expensive. I managed to pick this one up in CEX, the DVD, and I had this custom slipcover done for it, which I thoroughly like it. I think it would benefit from a remaster, this film. It doesn't look the best. I think it could do with a clean-up. It would be typical that they re-release this, as I've just had this slipcover done, but I don't honestly feel that anytime soon will we see this again being redone. But you never know, Amazon may think, you know what, we need to make some money out of the Bond franchise, so why not re-release a 4K remaster? And I do think it would look good all cleaned up, so I probably would upgrade this, you know, if it's a good transfer. That one, yeah, that's Casino Royale. We've talked about that one. That's just a apparently that's a US edition. It's a Walmart exclusive, I've been told. So yeah, I just picked it up because it was different artwork. Okay, so next, Octopussy. Again, this was one of Roger Moore's latter films. Personally, I think this should have been the Bond film that he ended with. I thought View to a Kill was, you know, he was a bit too old for that in my opinion. I don't mind the film, but it's not one that I revisit much. But I do like Octopussy. I thought it was a great film. It was nice to see Maud Adams come back. Obviously, she was in the Man with the Golden Gun, you know, and this artwork's just fantastic. And again, you know, if I could get a 4K for this, and again, there's a lot of scenes in India. You know, the landscapes would look great in 4K. And if I get a steelbook and I could put this on there, it'd be fantastic. Because I love that artwork. I think it's just so clever. So yeah, possible upgrade for 4K for Octopussy. And then the final one in this little video is The Living Daylights. Timothy Dalton's first outing as James Bond, and out of the two films I actually prefer The Living Daylights over License to Kill. Obviously I think License to Kill, he came really into his own and he was more the Bond, the grittier Bond that he wanted to be. This one was kind of like a transition from Roger Moore to his identity. You could still see a little bit of tongue-in-cheek in this film, which I think was a crossover to his sort of tenure as Bond. But when it came to License to Kill, you could really see all that sort of one-liners was gone really from that film. I would have loved to have seen a third film from Timothy Dalton, because I felt like he was just getting going in License to Kill. But out of the two, I actually prefer this one. And again, wonderful poster art. If a 4K came along, I would definitely upgrade this one without a shadow of a doubt. And again, ideally a steelbook would be nice with this artwork. Or there's the alternate artwork with the gun barrel and I forget the girl's name, but she sort of stood up with a sort of, yes, it's a very nice image. Yeah, so you know, a steelbook would be great with a 4K transfer. So for the living daylights, a definite upgrade. So yeah, pretty much that's all I'm going to say about the Bond films for now. Would there be any other Bond films that you would want to see upgraded to 4K? Stick down in the comments what you would like to see and what you would purchase in 4K for the Bond films. If you notice, there are no Pierce Brosnan films here. The only one that I quite liked of Pierce Brosnan was GoldenEye. Possibly I might be tempted with a nice steelbook 4K upgrade for GoldenEye, but the rest of the Brosnan films just weren't for me. Yeah, I didn't really think he was that great as Bond, in my opinion. But I did enjoy GoldenEye. So if it was a really nice steelbook with a great transfer, then I might be tempted. But I certainly wouldn't go for a Pierce Brosnan collection. So yeah, please give the video a thumbs up. That really does help out the channel. Tells YouTube that you like these sorts of videos, and that encourages me to create more content for you to enjoy. If you're new here, why not consider subscribing to the channel? I've got a playlist of this upgrade series. Would I upgrade to 4K for these films? And I also have a Bond playlist as well. Lots of different Bond videos on the channel. As I say, I do love James Bond, so I do cover some videos on the subject, on the genre. So yeah, please be sure to go and check those out. Right guys, well that's the end of the video. Take care. See you next time. Bye now.